Ladies and gentlemen, criminals in this country can run, they can hide, and they can also, if they have hefty bank balances, buy flight tickets within 98 minutes of a devastating fire that killed 25 innocent people. But the same criminals, the cowards, cannot outrun the law of the land. The Luthra brothers have been detained in Thailand. The brothers allegedly attempted to evade investigators by flying to Thailand just hours after the tragedy, but they were traced to Phuket. The process to deport them to India is underway, and currently they are in a detention center in Bangkok. Now let's quickly go across to my colleague Isha, who's at the Bangkok Immigration Center. Isha, you have been tracing them from the hotel hideout that they were at Phuket to the immigration center in Phuket. You've now reached Bangkok, where they currently are. What are authorities there telling you about how soon they will be allowed, or they will be taken from Bangkok and brought back to New Delhi?
Madhav, here in Bangkok, the detention, the immigration centers are shut on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. But what we have been reporting on since morning is that the Luthra brothers have finally been nabbed. In fact, their web of lies has finally collapsed. In fact, we spoke to our sources in the immigration office in the Phuket detention center, and they told us that the Luthra brothers have not apologized. They're not apologetic. They're not saying that they have any role. In fact, they just said that we are traveling to Phuket for work. In fact, one of the sources also confirmed to me that the Luthra brothers are saying, please go look at my Instagram account. This is something that I do very frequently. But all those lies have fallen flat on their face, and now they have been brought to Bangkok, is what we have been told, because a lot of the permission work is left. A lot of paperwork is due as of now. The Thai authorities and the CBI, the Goa police, and the other authorities are all working in tandem.
All right, Isha, keep tracking the Luthra brothers there. We're going to tell you, viewers, about every move as far as the fugitive Luthra brothers are concerned, and we're going to get you all those updates from Bangkok to Goa to New Delhi, where the various agencies are working overtime to bring the Luthra brothers back. But there's a big explosive news break on the show this evening. Times Now has accessed a document which exposes the truth behind the Birch Club. Now, this is a document that shows that land on which the club was erected doesn't have the name of Surinder Khosla, the man who gave the land to the Luthra brothers to construct the club. The land was a salt pan land and agricultural, but later it was settled by the Goa government and converted into a settlement zone. Now, Luthra brothers, with the help of Surinder Khosla, who's also wanted in the case, constructed the club on illegal grabbed land. This is a land that belongs to Balkrishnan Divkar and Krishna Divkar as per the government document. Let's quickly take this across to Arunil. Arunil, take our viewers through why this is so significant, because this is the same piece of land we are talking about. As per this document, as per what you're telling us, this document shows this was a salt pan land, it was an agricultural land, and without the due permissions, this was taken over and converted into a nightclub.
Well, Madhav, good evening to you. Times Now is on the trail of the Luthra brothers in Thailand. But at the same time, we are digging deeper as well, doing our investigation to expose the nexus of politicians, local politicians in Goa, as the middlemen, as well as how they have been favoring the rich and the mighty. This is a land in Arpora in North Goa, which was originally designated for a salt pan, as well as for an agricultural land. It belonged to a local farmers, that is the Divkar family. Now, they have a civil case against Surinder Khosla, who is one of the prime accused in the case, absconding. They have been claiming that, according to the court case, they said that it was Surinder Khosla who usurped their land, grabbed their land, and then made changes in the government guidelines. It is so easy to make changes in government rules as well as government guidelines by paying money to the government officers as well as to the local politicians. They did that, and that Birch cafe was made over there. Right from the start, the CM has been saying that this cafe is illegal. But why didn't the government did their checks and balances beforehand only? We are exposing, we are showing the face to the Prabodh Sawant government over here. Okay. That this is a proof that how this land was originally for salt pan, for an agricultural land.
Well, this is very important, because this exclusive document which we've accessed, Arunil, and shows that the land has been grabbed from the original owners. It also shows the land in which, in fact, fact, it has been built is, of course, originally an agricultural and a salt pan land. Arun will stay on with us because the net is tightening around the Luthra brothers. With deportation from Thailand now in the motion, but as the spotlight falls on the absconding owners of the ill-fated Goa nightclub, there are bigger burning questions that emerge. Who in the Goa government turned a blind eye? Were officials complicit in burying the safety warnings, and many more? We at times now are asking the serious and valid questions as well. And let's take you through this details as far as the arrested are concerned. There is, of course, Ajay Gupta, Luthra's business partner, who's been arrested. There's also, of course, Rajiv Modak, the general manager, who has been arrested. There's also, of course, the individual called Priyanshu Thakur, a gate manager, who has then been arrested as well. There are several other of the staff members, including Rajveer Singhania, the bar manager, who has been arrested at that particular location, because clearly all of these individuals would have known what is happening operationally. Even the owners themselves have, of course, vicarious liability. Now, the Luthras are going to be deported. Will the corrupt officials who actually facilitated this change of land use, will they also face action? Who in the Goa government benefited after warnings were buried? There were several warnings. Activists were busy on this case, but they were ignored. Who let the Goa club run despite these glaring fire safety violations is another question. Will the investigation stop at Luthras, or will the web of officials also be exposed? That's a very important question, because political patronage also is being cited as one of the possible reasons which helped the club operate beyond rules. Is that the case? And if so, what will be the action? These are some of the questions that have to be asked, and let's quickly get you some breaking inputs. After impounding Luthra brothers' passport, immigration authorities are now in the process of cancelling their visa today. Luthra brothers have been shifted to the Suang Klu Detention Center in Bangkok. Thai immigration has later sent Luthra's details, including fingerprints, photo case file, blue corner notice, and have processed for issuing an emergency travel document against their names, and India, of course, confirming their identity. And this emergency travel document that will be issued will be the basis for their travel back to India. Immigration department will be booking their tickets. Let's quickly take this back to Priyank. Priyank, very significant. It is an emergency travel document that will be issued because the police have moved to impound the passport, and in such a situation they will require the emergency travel document to allow for the Luthras to travel from Thailand to India.
See, Madhav, Times Now was the first channel which broke this information that the deportation is not happening before Tuesday. Now, viewers want to understand what is the reason because of which so much of time is taking. The reason is that the verification is being done from the immigration department to the MEA level, and everything has to be verified before the individuals could be deported back to India. What immigration department is right now doing, they are have cancelled the visa of the two accused. Now, the communication is being done with the Indian embassy back there in Thailand, and then the immigration department officials will be escorting these brothers to the airport with the emergency travel visa, which means that this will be a visa valid only for one-time travel, that too for India itself. They cannot travel to some other country. When they land here, they will be received by the officials from the Indian agencies. It is quite possible that the CBI team can also go for a smooth process, but in this kind of emergency travel certificate, it's not actually needed for the officers to travel, because the immigration officers themselves deport the individuals.
Stay with us, Priyank, because there is more information coming in, and this time it's coming in from Goa, because the information coming in at this point of time, according to top sources, is that the Goa police are likely to travel to Thailand. Decision taken after a high-level meeting was held there in Goa, and several high-level meetings that have been held today between the Chief Minister, top cops of Goa. Of course, central agencies also have met, and now it's been decided that a Goa police team is unlikely to travel to Thailand to take custody of the Luthra brothers. Instead, it would most likely be officials from the CBI who are going to be coordinating this directly with the Royal Thai authorities. Let's quickly take this across to Rucha. Rucha, this is very significant because you have a situation where we were told that the Chief Minister himself stated that there would be a Goa police team going to Thailand. Now we are told that's not likely to be the case. It is going to be the CBI, which is the custodian of Interpol over here in India, coordinates all Interpol activities between the states, who will actually be the one coordinating with the Thailand counterparts. What are your sources telling you, Rucha?
Well, since yesterday night, in fact, the Chief Minister is in constant communication with the central agencies. There is marathon meetings taking place since this morning also with the heads of Goa Police and the central agencies, where it was decided after the meeting that it is unlikely that the Goa Police will travel to Thailand to take custody of the Luthra brothers, and CBI here instead of Goa Police will be the one agency who will take the handover from the Thai authorities directly. And once the deportation process is over, once they land back in Delhi, is what we are understanding, from where they flew, they will be deported at Delhi, and from there the Goa police will officially take custody and handover from the Delhi, and later on they will be directly brought to Anjuna police station, where the further investigation will go on. And it is important to note that the Luthra brothers will be fully interrogated, investigated by the Goa police, since the entire location, entire tragedy took place in Goa's Arpora, and Anjuna police was the one who had filed the FIR, who will then be doing the interrogation of the Luthra brothers.
All right, Rucha, as well as Priyank, Arunil and Nisha, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us with all your various inputs. Let's quickly take this across to our guests now. Joining us with us is Yatish Nayak, spokesperson of Goa BJP. We have Vijay Sardesai, former Deputy Chief Minister of Goa, with us. Sanjay Sahai, former IPS officer, also joins us on the show. Let me start with you first. Yatish Nayak, what is going on? And who has facilitated such a transaction, sir? Because you clearly see in these documents that not so many years ago, this was a salt pan land. This was a land in which agricultural activities were permitted. How was the land use changed? And how did it reach the hands of the Luthra brothers? This is something that has to be questioned, because all of these, and many at least of these nightclubs that are coming up in different parts of Goa, it appears that they are completely gaming the system. And someone in the system is helping them do that. Yatish Nayak.
See, therefore, the magisterial inquiry, if I may put it, let it come on record who has done it, how it has been done, which authority has turned a blind eye, who is the officer in charge who has turned a blind eye. Let everything come out, because the government's sincerity to go to the root of it is very firm. Honorable Chief Minister is very firm, and the government is very firm, that this kind of an unfortunate incident is condemnable, it's unpardonable. And the name of the state should not get spoiled because of such kind of people who come here, who do this kind of illegal business in Goa. Therefore, Honorable Chief Minister is very firm, and therefore, if you see the terms of reference of the magisterial inquiry, apart from doing the collection of the documents, the permissions, and whatever the lapses are and all that, one of the terms of reference is to fix accountability on the government departments or officers that are responsible. Therefore, may I take you at serial number 3 of terms of reference of the order appointing the magisterial inquiry. It says to fix the accountability of agencies, departments responsible, and recommend preventive and corrective measures. So therefore, I say, amongst other things. So therefore, while the committee is going to go into detail and to see the sequence of events,
Mr. Nayak, end of the day, there's a government in Goa, and that government has to be held accountable, because it is under the aegis of that government that these transactions are happening. And let me bring in Vijay Sardesai on that note. Vijay Sardesai, who is to account? Of course, there have been Congress governments in the past, and perhaps they also will have to account for their actions of omission and commission. But the question is, who is facilitating these transactions? Who are the officials, the babus, the netas? We don't know who they are. Whether they are at the sarpanch level, we don't know. But something is clearly amiss over here.
Everything is happening with the protection and connivance of the BJP government. There is a High Court order in 2022 which says that 175 nightclubs and shacks need to be sealed. 117 of them are working today, 3 years after the High Court has ruled. Right. Which means that there is a pay and play model which is working in Goa, which is the Hafta. The son of the former Chief Minister of Goa, Manohar Parrikar, Mr. Utpal Parrikar, has gone on record saying that there should be a Hafta audit, not a safety audit, because safety audits can be bought. Now, my friend Yatish has just defended a magisterial inquiry. There was a magisterial inquiry held in May after a stampede which caused the death of 7 people. It resulted only in the transfer of the officer, nothing else.
Respond to that,
Magisterial
Yatish Naik.
inquiries
Previous
are
ministerial inquiries lead to transfers. Perhaps that's all
No,
that
I will
happened.
point
Public
out.
anger will dissipate
Permit me
and
to
you'll try to
put
brush
back.
this under the carpet. This is what Vijay Sardesai is saying.
Yes, it's very
No,
much.
permit me to
This is
put
going
back.
to be an eyewash.
Our friend
Nothing
Mr.
is
Vijay
going to
Sardesai is submerging his argument in politics. Now, let me point out to you, as far as the government is concerned, the government is very firm in ensuring that these kind of things, whoever has done is brought to book. I can point out there is no government patronage to illegality as alleged by Mr. Sardesai. I don't agree with it and I deny it because the tourism department had taken action against the illegal construction of this Romeo earlier. They went ahead and put the construction back. It was demolished earlier. Similarly, there have been earlier FIRs registered against this Birch, whatever it is. In fact, if you see, there was an FIR
Mr. Yatish
registered.
Naik,
which
the
has
very fact that you allowed it to come up after being
for noise
demolished, that does
pollution.
not raise a lot of confidence
Therefore, I'm
about the
telling
levels
you.
of enforcement, point number one. Point number two, if there is a change of land use from agricultural to something else, then who is responsible for it? That cannot happen surely without the state government. In many states, it's only the chief minister's office that can sanction a change of land use.
I'm telling you. No, therefore I'm telling you, whoever has permitted this, whoever has issued licenses, let everything come out and let everybody's role be scrutinized and action be taken.
Sir,
Because
what
that
kind
is
of checks and balances are happening?
about.
You are ordering a survey,
checks
a
and-
fire
see,
audit
there
of all the
are-
nightclubs
see, there
today.
are
What is the fire department doing?
No.
What is the safety department
No,
doing?
see,
The health department doing?
Earlier
You're
also-
saying there's
no,
violation
earlier
of the number
also-
of seating
no,
capacity, we are told in some of the
permit me to
nightclubs. There has to be field
Permit me to
inspectors.
speak.
There are people who are designated for this job and they're clearly not
Permit me-
doing their job. And let me get in Sanjay Sai, because Sanjay Sai, there is a tendency, and of course, in many states and union territories in the country, it is the police that does the job of licensing. In this case, it is completely under the state government. I'm told there are 20 departments which clearance has to be achieved or to be received before they actually set up an organization such as a nightclub or a pub. And therefore, all of those 20 departments, one would imagine, at least many of them fall under the aegis of the state government. There are certainly serious questions as to who was sleeping at the wheel or actively allowing this to happen at the wheel. Please unmute yourself and speak, sir.
Goa is a very small state, and they start behaving like UP or Maharashtra, then that is not acceptable. What is happening there, and I repeat again, it is complete disappearance of governance. From land use to fire force audits, I think literally nothing has happened. It is a case of industrial scale collusion. Collusion at a level which is unimaginable. We find it demeaning and uncivilized and undemocratic, and to a level that we cannot imagine. But it is a collusion which has brought us to this situation of the 15, 18, 20 department, whatever might be the number of department. In every single department, there is a SOP, there is a system of audit, there is a system of compliance, and there is a system of inspection which has to happen either quarterly or 6 monthly or annually. So this is the standard government procedure. All documentation are satisfied at tick mark level, but in Goa it has gone a stage beyond that. Even without any permit, without any document, things are happening in a crazy manner. Mr. Yatish Naik has been talking about that people come and people do. People might come from anywhere, they might come from Mars, but things are being done right there. And I can tell you with complete amount of confidence is that the lower level bureaucracy, what we call as the cutting level bureaucracy, has been made completely servile by the top level bureaucrats and the political class. Let me tell you again that however might be the culpability of the lower level bureaucrats and even senior bureaucrats, we have crossed the stage where anything can happen without the political diktat. It's the political executive which decides and will run the system. And whenever things fall flat, we saw in Bangalore, the Bangalore police commissioner was out. We saw what had happened. So this is a standard toolkit and they will keep on behaving.
Lower level bureaucracy is found wanting. Yatish Naik, respond very quickly.
Therefore, you please permit me to speak for a minute. You see, earlier also, the Pollution Control Board, the Tourism Department, and the law executing agencies have been doing their job. But there are certain people, there are these kind of businesses who are constantly getting involved in illegalities, which the government will not tolerate, has not been tolerating, and will not tolerate in the future. Therefore, I am telling you, though there is now a safety audit committee in place, a joint enforcement monitoring committee in place, and other mechanisms which are specifically put in place after this incident.
If anybody was monitoring the fire safety norms, this tragedy would not have happened. That's the bottom line, Yatish Naik. Either somebody was sleeping at the wheel or somebody connived, some corrupt officials or something else has happened at the bottom level, which has allowed for this to happen. We're completely out of time. Sanjay Sahai, Yatish Naik and Vijay Sardesai, we'll have to leave it here, gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.